Now you're live, Jennifer.
Okay, sir.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners Appointed Directors Meeting for Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. It's 12:03 p.m. and this is an open forum. It is live streamed on Thurston County YouTube channel. And we have an hour, and my name is Ty Menser, Chair of the Board, and Vice Chair Commissioner Edwards is here, and Commissioner Mejia, County Manager Miro Chavez, and Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, and most of our appointed directors that we'll get to and kind of get reports from. So just kind of go around then. I was hoping, Kurt, you're in my upper left-hand corner. I was hoping as an opener you could tell us your favorite Christmas song and Christmas movie.
Okay, so the favorite, I don't know if I have a favorite Christmas song, but the favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life, because I think that shows how people can have an impact to all those around them, and the positive impact they have to all those around them. So that's my favorite Christmas movie. As far as Christmas song, I don't think I have one. I know my daughter will be disappointed, but I'm sure she'll select one for me.
Well, what's going on in your department?
What's going on in my department? Well, we just wrapped up budget presentations and waiting with bated breath on the final budget adjudication on December 17th. But also, we are actually into 2023. We're scheduled, it's proposed in the budget for medic unit replacement in 2023. We have to start planning that now because all of our suppliers have told us with the supply chain disruptions, we have at least 365-day lead time for any medic unit that we want to order. So we actually started this month with the specs for medic units. And so at this point, we are also trying to determine, we may make a change in the type of medic unit we order. We're doing the analysis now, but we may go to the truck medic unit versus the van medic unit. We're considering that because all the equipment that we have inside of a medic unit, it's a lot and it keeps growing. The list doesn't go down, it keeps going up. And the medics have started to, medics never complain, but they've started to inform us that they're running out of room for themselves and the patients with all the stuff that we have in the back of those medic units. So we're starting to look at maybe we need to switch over to the truck, the F series out of the E series. So that's what we're in. So I was going to just say we're into 2023 already, just for the planning and specifications and getting ready for next year to potentially order these replacement medic units. So that's what's grabbing us right now.
Questions for Kurt? Anywhere? Okay. Next up on my screen is Dennis. Christmas movie, Christmas song, and what's going on in IT?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm with Kurt. I don't think I have a favorite song, but favorite movie is Christmas Vacation, hands down. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Chevy Chase. All right.
So from what's going on, some project updates. We are live with our JTI project for prosecution and defense. We're still working through a couple services, our UpTrust, which is a texting service, and some single sign-on. So we're hoping to wrap that up. And then we will be I'll be partnering with Patrick and the prosecutor to bring a brief to the board that will kind of give an outline of that project and then the impacts that it's having for their services. And we're hoping to do that next month. The permitting replacement project is in flight. They're currently doing demos for the top 3 that responded in the RFP. So that project is moving along. The ERP project has come to a snag. The vendor did respond to a critical requirement and has now kind of went back on that. So we're waiting to make sure that they could have a workaround as we continue through that project. And then hiring, we have had some positions open, but we did fill our Superior Court technical support position, actually with another staff member from the prosecutor's office. And then we also have final interviews for our RTC2, which is in support of the ERP project. And then we have 2 more positions that are still pending open. Other than that, we're just fielding normal calls and keeping everybody operational.
Questions for Dennis?
I do, Dennis. What's the critical, if you can talk about it, the critical ERP item?
Yes, it's around payroll and how we currently do our payroll. And that is not currently how Oracle has set out of the box to do their current payroll. So they're working on a workaround so we can keep our payroll the same.
Okay, awesome. Jennifer, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I'll just share just a couple of items. We have had hired on 31 new employees since the beginning of the year. And we have some continued vacancies where we're just trying to find folks. So that's ongoing recruitments. Which we have generally in public works, but we've got a little bit more higher percentage this year. Going through final rounds of interviews for the road operations manager. And on the solid waste front, I think I'll share this. We are putting together the Trash Talk, which is a printed publication. And this is for education on our recycling and waste reduction. It's a newsletter for fourth and fifth graders. And so that will be coming out. And it's actually on demand. So whoever asks for it. So at this point, we have 3,100 newsletters that are going to be delivered to 104 classrooms today. Last item I will mention is probably what everyone else is dealing with, which is still just some staffing challenges and shortages. On average, our road operations division is about 65% staffed. That's through vacant positions, modified duty, leave, that kind of thing. So we're continuing to kind of limp along through that, but it's kind of, I think for the people that we have there, they're doing fantastic and getting done as much as they can with the staffing levels that we have. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Christmas movie and Christmas song?
That's right, Mr. That's the Simon.
I was so close. Okay. Let's see. My favorite Christmas movie is, I don't know if it's an actual Christmas movie, but it's out every year, and that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I love that movie, and there's a few particular scenes that really make me laugh. And then as for my favorite Christmas song, honestly, the only one there's two that come to mind, and it's Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer and Jingle Bells. But other than that,
Man, you guys are kind of thin on the Christmas songs. I'm gonna have to send you guys some mixed CDs.
no, please don't.
Shelley.
So my favorite Christmas song is So This Is Christmas by John Lennon. And my favorite Christmas movie that me and the kids like to watch every year is Elf. Always makes us laugh. Yes. So probably, of course, as all of you know, the biggest news that I have to share is my impending departure.
What?
Did you get that memo? See the news on that? I hope that I'll have the opportunity to say more later, not in this meeting, but mostly been working on the transition for that to try to set our team up for success. And so grateful to Kurt for being willing to step in as interim after I leave. And we've been starting to work together and make plans. And so mostly that's what we've been dealing with, and budget and COVID, of course. COVID, unfortunately, is still here. Once again, not going to be over on New Year's Eve like we hope every year. We do have Omicron here in Thurston County, and we're starting to see our cases kind of creep up. We're starting to, for this morning, hospitalizations creeping up again. So hard to say whether that's because of a new variant present or just post-Thanksgiving holiday, which we always expect a little bit of a bump there. I'm really busy with our vaccine and testing sites. Just had a really successful pediatric vaccine clinic. Our mall clinic's going really well. I'm continuing to make plans on how we respond as we expect that things are gonna continue to pick up. So we're still hiring for a DCP division director. That's disease control and prevention. And I think that's my report at this time. Do you have any questions?
Hearing none. Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks.
Mary Ann.
Good afternoon. My favorite Christmas movie used to be It's a Wonderful Life, but I've been having conversations with friends about some of the scenes, and I don't know that I'm going to say that that's my favorite Christmas movie anymore, and I'll just stop there. And then the Christmas song, the one that always gets stuck in my head is Wham! Last Christmas, and I think that's because they play it everywhere. But I don't know if that's my favorite. Maybe, I don't know, Sleigh Ride. And I think because I've been decorating so much Christmas Vacation, I feel like that might be my new favorite.
Hey, Mary Ann, your connection is a little bit off.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, a little better.
Okay. I can always turn my video off. I can turn my video off so I can talk as opposed to be seen. What's going on in pretrial? We just wrapped up our budget process, as Kurt had said. That's what we're doing. We're also going through some streamlining processes in pretrial and looking at our work plan and strategic planning for next year. Part of that process looks at our risk assessment tool and what we will need to be doing for training and implementation of a new risk assessment tool in our department. We are working with the Advancing Pretrial Policy and Research Project and all of our partners for that, and the validation that we will have from RTI. And we've been spending much time recently with both prosecuting attorney and public defense, which you have Patrick here, on our diversion program to stand up the pre-charge. And we have some participants that are in that program and doing well. So we've also been talking with the clerk's office in terms of partnering with them and innovative problem solving for how we can handle restitution for our pre-charge program, and been moving forward with that. So those are things that are going on. Hopefully my connection is still going.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Questions for Mary Ann? No, everybody's quiet today. Okay, Maria. HR.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'll start with Christmas songs and movie. I like any of those claymation movies that they show every year with Rudolph and Santa and all the associated songs.
Classics.
As an adult, I've been watching them as a kid and I still enjoy them. I also like A Christmas Story and Elf. So I wanted to take a few minutes just to do some of our statistics on new hire numbers, promotions, veterans hire, separations. So for new hires through end of November, we have 191. I'll compare that to 2020 when we only had 108. And even back in 2017, it was 151. Comparing that to separations, through November, we've had 154 employees separate. Last year was 123 compared to 2017 when it was only 109. The subset of separations, retirement, so through November, 24 retirements. Last year we had 36 retirements, and in 2017 it was 30. We've done a really good job with promoting employees. We've through October, this number's through October, we promoted 94 employees compared to 64 in 2020, compared to 58 in 2017. We've hired 20 veterans. Last year was only 9, and in 2017 it was 17. Temporaries, that number continues to be high, probably due to the COVID response. We've hired 148 temps. Last year was 183 compared to 5 years ago, which was 113. And then this is just anecdotal. We used to track number of applications. So I went and had the numbers pulled from NeoGov. So in 2017, we received 8,900 applications. Granted, it could be people applying for multiple jobs, but compared to November of 2021, it's 7,800. So 7,869, which I think really reflects that most employable people are already working, and kind of helps explain why we're struggling to fill positions, and that we're not the only ones. There's just fewer people interested in working, or, they're settled with where they're at. And just got the team working on negotiating contracts with the sheriff's deputies, captains, and corrections. Finished, open enrollment, starting to upload all of that information. And so we just continue to be very busy. I too have about 3 vacancies and no qualified candidates. So just doing the best with the staffing that we've got. Some questions?
Maria, on the temporary positions, are you including seasonals in that?
I'd have to look. I believe so.
Okay.
No other questions for HR? Okay, Patrick, Public Defense.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy holidays. So yeah, favorite Christmas movie in my house, it's definitely A Christmas Story. Although my own personal favorite Christmas movie is Trading Places, and I'm happy to debate anybody who thinks that's not a Christmas movie. Favorite Christmas song is Fairy Tale in New York. That's just my own personal favorite ones. So yeah, very busy over here at Public Defense, finishing out the year, contracting, and getting ready for next year. Part of our strategic plan for next year is to do some realignment, so we're able to promote some folks that will help in our strategic plan and our organizational structure with span and control issues. So excited with those new opportunities for those staff. Continue, as Dennis mentioned, to implement our new case management system, and that frankly is going to be a strategy that takes us all the way through next year, given basically the scope of implementation. We continue to work cases on State v. Blake, and we just got a new ruling yesterday from the Court of Appeals that applies it to juvenile cases as well. So don't know how many cases we're going to be looking at, but needless to say, it is another big impact of that decision. A good one, but we have to figure out how we're going to approach that. Yeah, and other than that, just managing schedules and holidays. We don't have any vacancies right now, but given the board's recent decisions. We hope to go out and start recruiting new staff to join the department. So we're really excited about that. Happy to answer any questions. Sorry I was late. My computer totally crashed.
Okay. Patrick, question, and then on Blake. Setting aside juvenile, it's obviously not going to be a new thing, but in terms of the adult cases, were they continuing to stream kind of what you predicted, or was it kind of petering out? You were getting, kind of over the top of the numbers, or was there more than you expected? Kind of where was that? Now that we're several months into processing those cases, how does it look?
It looks pretty good. We're about right where I expected with the resources that we were given. Now that we have a team of 2 lawyers and a dedicated legal assistant, I think we're on track to at least get everybody who's entitled to be resentenced that's currently incarcerated by the end of next year. And that was a big goal of mine to get through those cases, sort of take the easy ones first, easier, I should say, first, and those that stood to be released immediately. And we're on track. I still think, overall to meet that goal will probably take us through next year. We still continue to play catch up with everyone else that's impacted in the community that has a prior conviction and getting those convictions vacated. We're still waiting on the clerk's office to pull the trigger on reimbursement of legal financial obligations. So we still fielding a lot of calls about that as well. So I think Commissioner, to answer your question, we're where I hoped we would be. And I'm really happy with the way, I sit on a lot of statewide meetings, and I think this county in particular stands above many other counties in the state of Washington in responsivity and frankly, our justice stakeholders all, on the same page. So I'm proud of our county for where we're at.
Commissioner Edwards. Oh, you had your hand up.
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I was probably getting ready to recognize Robin. She had her hand up.
Oh. Okay, thank you, Robin.
I didn't have my hand up. Patrick, did you say that the clerk has not begun to pay the LFO reimbursements?
The last time I had an update, Robin, I don't think they had just yet. That may have changed in the past couple of weeks. I'd have to check with my team. One of the things that we're trying to work with them on, we'll have to have some conversations about it, is right now the distribution is by mail. And so I'd like to work with them a little bit on some different options there. For those, we have some clients that don't have a mailing address and some other things. And some other counties have taken some different approaches. Spokane, for example, like they're distributing basically like debit cards. So I just have to talk to them, but I don't know. Maybe they started distributing the funds, which would be great.
Thanks. I'll follow up with them too.
Okay.
Okay, Josh.
All right, thank you. So earlier, I've never used the thumbs down reaction before, so it took me a little time to find it. And when I did it late. The thumbs down reaction was for Shelley leaving. It was not for Kurt taking over. Sorry about that.
Uh-huh.
And Shelley, I just wanted to give my direct appreciation. You led us through an unprecedented, difficult time. We partnered throughout the whole thing, and just to really appreciate what you did. I know that members of my team that served with you during that time really have a high regard for you. So as do I, obviously, but just all the best going forward.
Hey, Josh, I thought the thumbs down meant that you wanted to take over instead of me. So I'm all for that. If you want to step up, I'm all for that.
No, you're going to do great, Kurt. You got all my support in the world. So moving on from that before Kurt corners me in something else. Wanted to, let's see, first movie, Family Man with Nicolas Cage, Taya Leone, and Don Cheadle. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have your life affirmed. I love that movie. And in terms of songs, I really like Andy Williams' version of Oh Holy Night. Gets me every time. So that's a little bit of insight into my 85-year-old self. And then moving on to the CPED topics. So HCP is moving forward. The three different streams, the writing the codes and ordinances, acquiring the land, and ensuring we get the ITP from the federal government are all continuing to have progress. But we may come to a point on the ITP portion where we engage the board and helping to remind the federal U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in Washington, D.C. of our great collaboration with the regional office and how important it is that the D.C. office continues to move forward. So there may be more to come on that. I just wanted to make sure that the board is aware that things are moving forward, but we may need your continued assistance to use your positions as elected officials to communicate clearly to the DC office. Permitting application, the demos, Dennis already mentioned that. We've got a ton of our team focused on those. They're all day demos. And so there's, I think, 8 or 9, Dennis, I'm not sure how many, but it's taking a lot of time, and a lot of folks that would normally be doing other things are focused on trying to get this new application, IT application, get the right company to do this install. So we're spending a lot of time up front to try and get the right system down the road. But I really appreciate the good work of your IT team, Dennis, in making sure that we've got good candidates in the running, and it sounds like it's going well in the process. Also wanted the board to be aware that we are kind of going differently in the BDC right now. We have some modified hours due to staffing issues. I believe that the county manager has shared that. We are working with the health department, we are working with important organizations to ensure that how we do the staffing aligns with the needs for the customer service, as well as safety to all of our citizens and residents. But it's going to be fluid, and so you may hear a change in hours. We're trying to make sure that that communication is quick and transparent to the community. We want to provide hours of operation as often as possible, but also making sure that we stay safe in accordance with all appropriate guidelines. And I guess I'll leave it at that.
Questions for Josh? No? Josh?
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I had one more thing, and maybe Commissioner McGill will get into this a little more, but ORCA is having a transition of leadership that in their executive director position. And I think that's going to be, Fran McNair has served in that role for a long time. She's done a great job. I do think that the next steps that ORCA takes will be beneficial to our region as well, but I'll leave the rest of that to Commissioner McGill.
Yeah, I'm sure Commissioner McGee has a comment on
Did they pick someone?
kidding.
There is a candidate, and we had a discussion, and that's why I was a little bit late coming to this, was because we were having an executive session on that. And then we're gonna have basically a decision. We're gonna have a special meeting next Monday to make a final decision on the candidate. But very exciting times. Fran will be staying for 1 month of onboarding for the new candidate. So that'll be really helpful, just because it's there's so much going on in that organization in terms of having to cooperate with different counties and of course the cities here.
Yeah, the board is interesting. It's like a county commissioner from each of the 6 counties, and then a municipal representative from the 3 biggest cities in the entire region. Well, it just turns out that that's Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater. And during the time that I was on the board, it switched. It was Olympia, Lacey, and somewhere else, Port Townsend or something, and Tumwater took over. So Thurston County has a lot of representation, because we basically have 4 of the 10 seats? 4 of the 9 seats are Thurston County, because we have the 3 biggest cities. So anyway, that's interesting, and it's seated here in West Olympia. Josh, can you remind the group what your connection is to ORCA, your role?
Yeah, thank you. I sit as the proxy for the board when the commissioners aren't able to attend.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I had a question for you. I know that you and I spoke to one of the media outlet representatives at the EDC Expo. Were you able to provide information to that person about their questions about building inspections or whatnot?
Yeah, so I requested from that person information specifically about the case that he was referring to, or more details. I haven't received anything back from him.
Okay.
But as the game of telephone goes these days, I'm sure that it was something to do with staff turnover, and we all are experiencing that staffing issue. It is not correct. We do have more than 1 inspector. and those folks are currently working. So I'm not 100% sure what the question was from the media representative, but have asked for more details and have not yet received them.
Okay, very good. Anything else for Josh? No? All right, let's go to county manager.
I thought you were going to Robin.
Okay, go to Rob.
This way.
Assistant county manager.
Hey, favorite Christmas movie is White Christmas. And that is mainly because of my memories watching it with my dad. And then for the song, I like the Bing Crosby, David Bowie duet of Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy. It's probably my very favorite. Although for movies, I would say that I am exceptionally partial to Elf as well. It's just too fun. So I think everyone knows what I've been working on recently, budget, lots of budget. And I want to express again my deep appreciation to all of you for showing up at all of the meetings and all of the hearings, and all of your staff who did a really excellent job of what you submitted to start with, and then being responsive to the budget team when we had questions, and cleanup and all of that. And it takes everyone to work on this product, and everybody's been fabulous this year especially. So thank you for everything you've contributed. Other than that, Central Services is doing its thing. The big thing that we're working on right now is the project to move to the atrium and standing up just the beginning of the projects here at the courthouse campus. Those are probably the biggest things going on in Central Services, and keeping up with maintenance on the buildings and all of the vehicles and all of that. And the biggest challenge right now is recruitment. I've been recruiting for a budget manager for over a year, and the very few candidates that have been qualified have either not been suitable through the interview process or pulled out. So I decided that it must be something that I was doing wrong, and we've hired a recruiter, and they're having less luck than we have on our own. So if you know a qualified budget person who would love to work for Thurston County, please send them our way. That's not the only position. Like all of you, recruiting is really rough no matter what the opening is. And we're just very fortunate to have found someone fabulous to take Denise Doty's place as she retired. Other than that, like I said, it's right now it's all budget all the time.
Questions for Robin? I don't see any hands. Go to county manager then.
Yeah, thank you. So let me begin. My favorite Christmas movie is the Christmas Carol, and any variations of the Christmas Carol, Scrooge, all that stuff. I really
Muppets Christmas Carol?
Anything. I really
That's a good
love
one.
it. I really like the story. So my favorite Christmas song, I'm gonna play, hopefully you can listen to my Spotify. So if you can guess this, you got kudos, but this is my favorite Christmas song.
This consists of just one sweet dream. I know what I want for Christmas this year. I hope.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Can you guys hear that?
No.
Blake.
I heard it. I just don't know it.
So the name of the song, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
You get
Nobody knows it.
Nobody knows it?
It's country. It's a country.
Country
Is it
song?
Darius?
Yes, that is the reason that I have no clue what it is.
It's not Darius Rucker because he got a.
No.
Not Blake.
Is it
No,
Kenny
it's
Rogers?
I Know What I Want for Christmas, and the artist is George Strait.
George Strait, yeah.
Ah.
That's my favorite song. Anyways, so thank you for entertaining that. Related to, following up on what Robin stated, budget. And echoing also my deepest appreciation to all of you to participate on this very complex process that we have to go through just about every 2 years now. But also I'd like to extend my appreciation to the Board of County Commissioners because they have been, as I stated this morning, very diligent in making the decisions. They have come to hopefully a conclusion next Friday, December 17th. It's not an easy task. And I believe they always take this very serious, what they go through. A lot of discussions, a lot of difference of opinion. But I really appreciate most of all is the environment in which you have created to have a civil conversation. There is disagreements, obviously, you have different perspectives as you should. But what I admire the most is the respect that you have to one another. So I applaud you for that because knowing other commissions in other counties, that's not necessarily the case. So thank you for that. And also related to the transition of Shelley, I have started conversations with Kurt, Shelley. We have a plan that hopefully next week we can start gelling what the plan is. The objective is to ease Kurt's transition. And also I have already started working with Maria. We're going to be hiring a consultant that will help us to have a national search to Shelley's new replacement. So, and that leads me to my last comment, and that will be to Shelley, to say thank you very much for absolutely everything what you have done. As Josh stated, you have led us through this pandemic, not just internal, but external. You have been recognized outside of the county as a leader who has taken this task, make it your own, and have benefit to the citizens of the county. I understand the next steps for you, the opportunities that lie ahead of you. I have nothing but you will be successful, and I wish you the best. And I'd like to close by saying thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Ramiro. It has been an honor to serve and work with all of you.
Again, anything you want to report?
Oh.
Tell us your movie at least.
Okay.
Good song. At a minimum.
I already reported on Orca, and what's going on with that. I'm trying to think on the spot. Other than that, I don't think, Pack Mountain also is another committee that I sit on, and they just went through their hiring process of an executive director. I have like 2 committees that I sit on where they were going through a search. So Cheryl is retiring from Pack Mountain. So in terms of Christmas songs, I think the music that's usually playing at my house this time around is Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's what my husband really enjoys, so that's usually what we're jamming out to. And then for movies, I love Home Alone. I think, but I think that's just kind of like my generation. And then I'm also really into the cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies that they play around. I think it gets me in this Christmas spirit.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Commissioner McGinn? Commissioner Evans.
Well, I think Christmas is about kids. And I agree with Commissioner Mejia, I like to see the bad guys take a beating, so that's what I like about Home Alone. And I think that Jingle Bells is something that all the kids can kind of get into, and it's very upbeat. So that's kind of where I am on that. And I want to just ditto what the county manager said, Shelley. No point in me being redundant on all of his topics, but I've been here the longest to watch you grow into that situation that you now are in, and I wish you all the luck in the world. I don't know what your future endeavors are gonna be, but I hope it works out for you, but you will be missed. So thank you for all you've done, and I don't always agree with everybody all the time, but you know, I truly do believe, Shelley, if we did have disagreements, can't remember any particular, but your heart has always been in the right place. And I like to recognize that. And for the rest of you that are stuck with us for the next coming year, thank you for all you have done and put up with for this past couple of years. Boy, what a resume you can all write when it's all done. So thank you all, and Merry Christmas. And I won't sing Jingle Bells to you. So that'll be your Christmas present. So you folks.
I was going to invite caroling.
What was that, Marianne? What?
I was going to invite caroling.
She broke up. I still do.
Carolyn.
So caroling, she was gonna.
Oh,
ask
yeah,
for
you know what?
caroling.
I'm a hummer.
So you must never have heard Commissioner Edwards sing Happy Birthday.
That's right. Robin's heard it before.
I've heard him sing.
It's
a gift.
terrible. It's terrible. I'll vouch for it. It is terrible.
Let's say unique.
Okay. So glad to see you all here, happy and healthy.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to ditto same to Shelley. Shelley, I've communicated to you about the meeting I had with the City of Olympia, but the next day I had the mayor's meeting, which involved mayors from Yelm, Dakota, Lacey, and Tumwater, who all similarly expressed surprise, shock, dismay, concern, and appreciation for your leading us through this. And I personally thank you. I volunteered to be the chair of the Board of Health in early 2020. I thought it would give me some experience leading some meetings. And a month later, you know, but you made my job very easy as we walked through Board of Health and you know, you were doing the hard work and just helping me along. So I appreciate that. Movies, my favorite movie, if you ask my kids and wife, it would be Elf, so they would agree with you guys on that. If you ask my parents, it would be Christmas Vacation. They would be with Dennis, because they watch that every year, and Christmas Story. But my personal favorite, 1977, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, narrated by Kermit. It's a Muppet, and it's not on anywhere. I just had to order it. I just ordered it on DVD, so I'm going to show it to my kids this weekend. I'm very excited. I haven't seen it in several years. I still have it on VHS. I recorded it off TV, but I don't have a VCR anymore, so I haven't gotten to see it in a long time. My favorite song is Father Christmas by the Kinks. I think there's no question about that. And I don't really have anything to report. We've been working on the budget. As far as my outside external boards go, LOT also is having a succession issued in 2022. Mike Strube, longtime executive director, is retiring, but we have been working with an internal candidate, and the board has passed a resolution to recommend to the new board that will take over in 2022 that we continue to groom our internal candidate, Matt Kennelly, who I think will do a great job of, I'm hoping the new board, I'm assuming I'll still be on the board, and I'm hoping we're gonna have 2 new members because Mayor Komet is retiring after 30 years of public service to Thurston County, and Cynthia Pratt is retiring after however many years of service she's had a lot. Probably the two longest serving elected officials that I'm aware of, besides Commissioner Edwards, I guess. But I mean, in terms of the legislative level that I'm aware of in the county are stepping down, and they're both longtime board members of law. So we will have a new board, but I'm hoping that we'll continue to work through that. And we have a lot of exciting things going on there. We're looking at the whole cost of service fee structure. We're probably not going to make major changes, but we're evaluating things, and we're going to implement some targeted programs to try to enhance affordable and low-income housing projects by potentially being able to waive connection fees for certain types of things like that. And anyway, so that's a big thing. What else? Climate mitigation is going forward strong, and we're going to be presenting a phase 4 agreement for the board to consider very shortly, which will be a 3-year agreement. We've just been operating under a 1-year bridge agreement to try to create a long-term governance structure, and that's what we hope to present. I guess that's about it that I would report, unless anyone has any questions. It's been a great year. I really appreciate everybody. We're obviously operating under unusual circumstances for this whole year, between teleworking and budget fluctuation and all sorts of new things like Blake and court backlogs and, staffing challenges and stuff. So everybody's flexibility has just been awesome, in my opinion. I appreciate the support for the board's really difficult decisions like vaccine policy and things that we had to confront that weren't always the most popular across the board with your employees, I'm sure, but you guys found a way to make it work, and the statistics that the county manager provided on that seem really good. So I'm pleased with what we've been able to do to try to bring our county forward on a number of fronts. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, thank you so much. And if I'm not the chair next year, I've really enjoyed my year and being able to preside over these meetings and all the things I got to do as chair of the Board of County Commissioners. So, anybody, anything else? Questions for the board?
I have just one, not so much I guess kind of a question. So Commissioner Mejia, I think you had the opportunity this morning to listen to the TRPC Transportation Policy Board when they were talking about flying vehicles, that Hyundai is doing basically research and development regarding flying vehicles. And I thought that was very, very interesting in terms of what the future may hold. I thought automated vehicles was really stretching it. Flying vehicles. Oh no.
The Jetsons.
Yeah, when do we get our jetpacks?
Right?
Yeah. So it was a really good conversation we had about that, and it was funny because we were talking about just the automated vehicles, and then Don Melnick made a really good comment of there'll be a point where I won't know how to drive, and it'll be pretty cool that I can just go hop into my car and not really even have to drive, that the car can just take me there. But according to Mayor Andy Ryder, he does say that the automated cars have troubles with roundabouts. So he says he still has to drive his car through roundabouts because if it's a straight line, it's good. If it's roundabout, so I think we have still kind of, even with automated cars, we still have a long way to go. But
yes,
it was
well,
pretty
that
exciting to see that.
I think so. That, and he's weaving in and out of traffic through his automated car when they slow down in front of him. So.
One of the, we think about technology, but the best anti-theft device on your vehicle is a manual transmission. So times are changing.
All right.
I'll leave this, unless you grew up driving one and then you know how to pop the clutch. So and you just need a little push. But
Thank you for everything that you do. Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thanks to team, everybody. We'll be adjourned.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.